What's up? Welcome to another episode of the Coach Cash Show on The Hub. Today, I'm talking to Detach from Dallas, Texas. He's 50-year-old and he's not married. So let's get right into it, Detach. How you doing? How you doing? How you doing?
I'm actually doing great, Coach Cass. Thank you for sharing a little time with me.
Oh, you're welcome. Thanks for being here. So why don't you share a little bit of your story, Detach? Like, who's Detach? Like, tell
Wow.
us a little bit about you.
You know how they always say I was born the son of a sharecropper. That's not my story. I actually originally from Louisiana. I've been married twice.
Okay.
I do believe in the institution of marriage.
Mhm.
I do, however, believe that sometimes that when you can't necessarily uh, be in love in close proximity, then you be in love at a distance. And that's perfectly
Mhm.
fine.
Mhm.
And so that's where I am right now. So able to love up close, I think, and then also able to love at a distance when necessary.
Okay, I definitely believe that there are good people, but not everybody's good for you.
I agree
Okay.
1000% at this particular time, in this situation, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So with you, Detrick, I know that you are a proud member of Omega Psi Phi Fraternity Incorporated. Is that right?
Do they have any others?
Well, shout out to all my Qs out there listening in. So, oh
That's all
goodness,
right.
I'm not gonna bring my husband in here. All right,
Don't. That's all right.
he's a
That's all right.
Catholic.
We all make mistakes.
You're right for that. Just right for that. So, Dietrich, so I really had you on this show really because I think it's so important to highlight marriage-minded men, right?
Absolutely.
Because, there's this thing out there that men don't want to be married, that men just want to play the field, that men don't want to settle down, especially with online dating and all this swiping and all these things. So I thought it was important to have you on to just share that, like, hey, look, here is a marriage-minded brother. So,
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Well, quite honestly, I think what most men want is freedom.
mm,
With that said, they want to be with people who are freeing.
mm,
If you have associated being married with being tied down in prison, then that's the fundamental problem. But as far as I'm concerned, uh, when I was married, I was liberated. And
mhm.
so marriage should be liberating. It should be freeing you up to go do some things that you couldn't do without this particular person in your life.
Beautiful.
So I think it's just a twist of so would I say that most men are not marriage minded? What they are is freedom minded. And I think
Mhm.
what has happened is we've been taught, so to speak, or socialized to believe that if we are married, then we're no longer free. I'm saying it's just the opposite.
Wow. Oh, that is deep. You guys better tweet out Detrick. Stop playing. That was deep. I love it. Okay, so freeing. I could definitely say that I have been able to do more and accomplish more and make more money and do all the things I've ever wanted to do as a married woman versus a single woman. So I want to say that I agree with that concept. I love it. Having freedom inside your marriage. And yeah, like it can be freeing. Now it's just choosing the right person. That's a whole nother story.
That's
So,
correct.
all right, Detrick, what is your question today? What is on your mind? Tell
Well,
me,
I
tell me.
I find that when I'm interacting and dealing with a young lady dating or what have you, we and our interaction is great. It's as we get to know each other, they begin to bring up past
Mm.
relationships. They may not specifically say it, but I can tell that I'm no longer they're no I'm dealing with somebody else's baggage. Does that make sense? Or somebody
Yes.
else's. So in essence, now I'm having to make up for what he did.
Mhm.
And so I guess my question is that, what will it take for me to have a marriage or partnership, whatever, in the present, as
Yeah.
opposed to always in the past?
Ooh, send her to me, honey. Send her to me. So, I find that to be a huge issue, right? Because we've all been through some things and been hurt and have heartache and been jaded. So it is a skill set and a physical decision, and it's a daily decision to put your past behind you. Like literally in our last podcast interview, our guest was just sharing that, she was abused in her two main relationships. So now when she met someone, she was looking for all the red flags, right? So she was
Right.
seeking out the red flags to say, this isn't it. And I challenged her on that to be like, honey, we still have to focus on the present. Your past is your past, and you're giving your power to your past. So in order to take it back, you have to make a decision. So for you as the man, it's calling it out. So here's a specific example I'm thinking of, which you bringing this up. When I started dating my husband, we were just, dating, nothing too serious, but we were at his cousin's house and his phone rang. Okay. And he went outside. So he didn't go to another room. He didn't go to the balcony. He went outside.
It was
And
a
then he went
VIP
outside to
call.
his car. Yes. And he was out there for a minute. And this started to bring up some stuff from my past because I've been cheated on. And when I looked back at my relationship, I realized every time this dude would go missing on the phone, he was talking to another chick, right? So that narrative was in my mind. So then now when he went out to the car and he was out there for a good 20 minutes, I'm like, all right, Cass, So I go out there and I don't say anything, right? And I'm standing in front of the car thinking that I'm composed, I'm just standing in front of the car. I'm thinking that I have a nice face. And he rolls down the window. This is like when you roll down windows.
Windows,
And
right.
he says, Cass, I'm not that guy. I'm not that guy. And roll back up the window. And I picked up my jaw like this. And I walked back inside. And that was the check that I needed to say, don't do it. This is a good guy. And he is sharing with you how you're coming across. So in order for me to leave the past behind, I really did need the right man that understood that I'd been through some things to check me.
Got it. To hold you
I did.
accountable.
Yeah, really hold me accountable. And now, because he knew I've been through some things, he also was really transparent, So like, I think his ex-girlfriend's dad had passed away and he was going to go to the funeral. He was like, hey, just to let you know, I'm going to the funeral because this is someone that, I spent a lot of time with, but understand this has no bearing on us. And I thought that was powerful because we were only dating for maybe 2 weeks, and I was just like, you explaining stuff to me? Like, you ain't gotta explain nothing, right? So I think it's also understanding both sides that, all right, I know you've been through some stuff. So I'll just be transparent with where I'm at, because sometimes as somebody that's been jaded in the past, and I've seen this through many of my clients, is that you just kind of want that confirmation that, okay, we're doing something here versus I'm just one of the many, 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 many.
Right. I definitely understand that. That's huge. That's huge. To hold that person accountable and keep them in the present wherever possible with what I hear you saying is with the understanding that we all have a past.
Right.
With that said, if I'm going to love them in the present, then I also have to be able to love them aware of their past. I think that's perfectly fine. That's great.
Yeah. So we all been through some things, and even if you have therapy or coaching, it just doesn't disappear. It just doesn't disappear, and it comes up in different ways. So I'll let you know that in my circle, someone cheated on someone else in terms of a relationship, and so I saw my husband with new underwear on, and I'm like, where you get that underwear from?
Right.
And then he had to check me again, Detach. He was like, don't bring other people's drama over here, right? So
secondary trauma.
Yes. So you'd be surprised of the things that will affect your relationship on an ongoing basis. So it is a continual check to say, listen, I'm here with you. I want you. I choose you. Do you choose me? We're in this together. Because in the beginnings of dating, you're kind of in this space of, I don't know, right?
Of course.
Are we? Are we together? Is this really what you want? So then you're unsure and you're insecure, and insecurities bring up jealousy, and jealousy perpetuates all the accusations, and accusations bring the demise of your relationship. So to nip that all in the bud is call a spade, and just have an honest conversation about it, but understand that one conversation isn't going to erase an entire 40-year, 50-year past.
Right. Well, I think you hit the nail on the head. You just said something about having the conversation. And conversations assume that we feel safe enough to have those conversations. And
Mm-hmm.
so even more so probably than having the conversation is creating the safe space
Mm-hmm.
to have an open, honest, transparent dialogue.
Right.
Because if I am that guy, I need to be able to say that too and
Exactly.
allow you to be able to make the decision that you need to make,
Exactly.
one way or the other.
Right, exactly. Yeah, so I believe in dating, right?
Mm,
Dating is a verb. And until this is your wife or your husband, I believe in dating because too often do we settle down with one person and you're over 40, over 50, you don't really have time to quote unquote waste. So I'm really about the multiple conversations with different people. And then you
right.
see kind of survival of the fittest who really rises to the top in terms of compatibility, in terms of trust, in terms of vulnerability, being able to share. And if you can't share and be open with this person, is this person the right one for you? Because at the
Mm,
end of the day, sexy doesn't last. Like you
mm,
feel like it does, but on a
right.
Monday morning with halitosis and whatever
That
going
Monday
on.
morning look.
Exactly. Like, oh, okay.
Yeah,
Do I
Friday
still
night
like
was awesome, but that Monday morning look.
it's a different
I
situation.
got you.
So just being able to have those honest conversations from the beginning, like, no, I am dating, until
Sure.
we really decide that this is something that is viable, that can last. I'm for it.
Right. And as a person that's been married twice, I actually think it may make a lot of sense to continue dating,
Mm-hmm.
meaning the person,
Mm-hmm.
because there's also always getting to know the person even better. I recall very distinctly, I was 2 or 3 years into being married before I knew some things, you
Mm,
know, I mean, and it's may have been small things. Would you ever want to be when you were a little girl? And I
right.
just asked one day, but my point is we had been married. It was interesting to learn that kind of stuff. I guess I should have asked that before. But my point is that in both of my uh, previous marriages, we had regular date nights.
Mm,
So we dated till the end, I think, quite
mhm.
honestly. To the degree that we were even able to have that date to say, you know what, I think you need to go in that direction and I need to go in that direction, and we can have a conscious separation.
Mhm.
And even with that, and so to this day, we still have we have great relationship. I have great relationships with the people I was married to. I'm just not
Mm,
no longer married to them,
right.
and that's to the benefit of everyone involved,
Yeah,
actually.
it is. Because nobody likes drama. Well, some people do like drama.
Right, exactly,
Some
exactly.
people, they thrive off of drama. Not my
Sure.
deal. You made me think of something. I created something called the Love Deck, and literally, what this is 60 questions I believe you
Mm,
should ask someone before you choose to marry them. Mm.
mm,
Yeah, because sometimes we don't have real conversations, right, Detrick? So you meet somebody, they're sexy, you're sexy, great chemistry. And then
right,
6 months down the line, you're like, maybe this is the one. And it's just like, you haven't had any real conversations. You've been having fun, but
right.
where does the realness come into play? And we kind of forget that finances and views of the world and raising kids, or how do you deal with your
Exactly.
grown kids or your aging parents, like
Exactly.
how
Because
do you,
that's when it gets stressful.
yeah.
What happens if a mother-in-law gets sick? Can she come stay with us? Well, it's
Exactly.
assumed, for example, one side may assume that, oh yeah, of course, that's what we do in my family. And over here, we're like, oh no, 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 she can't stay here. You know, and that, and you've been into this thing for 6 and 7, 8 years now, 10 years, what have you, and all of a sudden, you having this major,
Major.
that's a major issue on what
Mhm.
to do with someone's parents. So for example, it'd be beautiful to have those kinds of discussions. I tell people sometimes you got to plan your divorce before you even get married sometimes.
Oh.
You know what I mean? It's almost like an insurance policy. And what I mean by that is you have car insurance, which you hope to never ever need,
Mhm.
but you do have, and that's intelligent, I think, that you
Yeah.
can have those discussions and say, if this issue came up, how would we handle it? And let's
Yes.
handle it like adults.
Yeah, having
Red
real conversations, because
grown
most
folks
conversations,
conversations.
yeah, what most conversations are, what do you want to eat, where are we going, and can I touch your leg? It's just like
Right. And the real question is, who do you want to be 20 years from now?
Mhm. Right, right. We focus too much on the present when it comes to that, right? Oh, well,
Oh,
you're making good money, you're doing well for yourself, but what if What if the world turns upside down?
Huh?
Right?
What if a virus comes up and we can't no longer, go to work or what have you?
Exactly.
There's this thing they call the airport test. Like, it's cool, but can you actually spend all day with this person every
Mhm.
day
Yeah.
in the same room? Can you
Right.
do that?
Right.
But how long does it take before you guys start fighting over the remote? Or better yet, needing different separate televisions and stuff like that.
Ooh, hallelujah. Oh
You
my
know,
goodness.
and
Yeah,
those are very
we are a one TV household in my household. My husband's always, trying to vie for another TV. I'm like, nope.
right.
One TV household. We are together on
We
this
got to
couch.
decide on what we watching.
We together. Or you can watch it by yourself and I'll go read a book. But either
I
way.
heard that. I heard that. That's all right. Well, hopefully he won't be like the guy on the in the car watching TV. I thought he was on the phone. No, he was just watching ESPN.
Ay, ay, ay. Hey fam, we're back. So I'm talking to Detrick and he's just sharing some good stuff. So I had to hit record. All right, Detrick. So, one of the things I've been looking for marriage-minded men, some freedom-minded men,
Right.
to be able to be a part of this podcast. And, I've had a little bit of trouble. So you were just talking about how men show up in the world versus their relationship. Go ahead and share your theory.
Right. I believe that men show up in the world or engage the world exactly the same way that they engage women in their lives. Okay. And so a man does not show up in what I'll call a flimsy way in the world and then show up stellar in his relationships. That's incongruent. Men
Mm,
show up the exact same. So if he has quote unquote the swag about himself, and I'm not saying he's his big business or whatever, but you can see it in him, the way he engages the small things in his life, right? He'll engage you the exact same way. So don't,
mm,
you know, uh, act as though you're puzzled, right?
mhm.
When you say, you know what? He never tells me the truth, but he wasn't telling the truth to nobody else. He lied on his driver's license application. He lied on every other thing that outside of you. So
I,
don't expect him to be this holier than thou over here. The flip
mhm,
side of that is, if you ever want to know how a man is going to engage you, right? You don't have to date him, quite honestly. You can
mm,
just watch him. And the way he moves in the world is exactly the way he will move with women.
hmm.
Period.
Wow.
Period.
Wow, that's deep. The way he moves in the world is how he moves with women. Ooh, you guys better tweet that. That's a that is some strong, powerful words, Detrick. So you're saying if somebody, but what if they're not really online like that, right? So they have a social media profile, but it's like of a tiger is their profile picture. A lion. You'd be surprised how many men have a profile picture that's a lion on Facebook. I'm just like, is there like a lion revolution? So like, what am I supposed to take from that, Detrick? Like,
I actually,
seriously.
I have this thing about lions, and the king of the jungle and stuff like that. Personally, this is me personally. The lion is feline,
Hmm.
feminine. It's a
Mm-hmm.
feminine, and so I'd rather see a wolf, if
Hmm.
anything, from a man. Quite honestly,
Yeah.
the male lion is actually kind of lazy, as a matter of fact.
Huh.
It's the female lion that's responsible for going and get the food and whatever. He's pretty much there to guard the cubs and procreate for all practical purposes. So when I hear men talking about being the lion, I'm like, do you really know what that means? Do you
Oh,
really want to be a cat? Really? Or do you want to be more of a hunter? Do you really want to be a little bit more of canine in your approach to life?
says the Omega sci-fi.
Right. And
Says,
all I'm saying is that if there was going to be a picture, I'm looking for the wolf,
yeah.
so to speak. But more importantly, I think what you're talking about is a consistency,
Yeah.
right? Men are consistent. I'll take a person who consistently lies over a person that lies sometime and tells me the truth sometime and tells me a lie sometime and the truth sometime.
Yeah.
Because consistency I can work with. I know what I'm dealing with. And so what you're really looking for from these men, quote unquote, online or offline for that matter, is a level of consistency.
Mhm.
And you're right. I quite honestly, I don't accept friend requests from people that I can't see.
Right.
And I also don't do nicknames and all that kind of stuff. I'm
Yeah.
like, look, I need to be able to see who you are. I need to get to, if that's what you want to do,
Mm-hmm.
then I need to know who you are,
Yeah,
right? And if you can't even tell me your name, you can't even show me your face.
it's a
You want to
problem.
hold on. If you don't want to show me your face, who am I to have the audacity to even want to see your face? I mean, how arrogant can I be
Right.
to say,
Exactly.
I want to see your face despite the fact that you don't even want to show it to me?
Mm.
You know what? I tell you what, you leave your face and your questionable identity over there, and I'm gonna go do this.
I
But
love
you,
it.
but you don't make it hard for me to get to know you, because otherwise that means I don't get to know, I don't need to get to know you.
I love it. I love it. So these are some good nuggets that you're dropping. So what I'm hearing is, number one, you want someone consistent, period,
Absolutely.
right?
Period.
Whatever they're consistent in, at least you know who they are. Number two, if you want to connect with someone, they have to be able to see your face. And with so many things being online, if you're seeking love, if you're seeking relationship, if you want to be married, like, update your profile photo, guys and ladies, it's a thing. And number three is just being open and honest, right? Not hiding behind social media, a profile, being able to connect. I love that.
Right. I personally, if I see a picture on Facebook, I downgrade it automatically,
Mm,
because I know you won't show me that Monday morning look on Facebook. I know that. You're not going to show me the photo right after you just had a workout and your hair is all over your head. I'm not going to see that. I'm not going to see that picture. I already know that. I know I'm going to see the glamour shot.
right.
Okay. So as soon as I see the glamour shot, I say, okay, all right, I can really, really work with this. Now I'm going to ratchet this down a tad bit.
Right.
Okay. Right. Because I'm going to see the Monday morning look way more than the Friday
Right.
night look. And I
Right.
got to be happy with that too. So
Mm-hmm.
what I do is people don't share their mistakes, their oopses, their bad pictures on any social media. I only see the best.
Right.
You
The
know that.
highlight reel.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
the highlight reel, of course. So, but there's a whole movie there. In that trailer, you only see the best parts of the movie.
Yep. Yep.
Social media is a trailer for the person. Okay, got it. You got my attention. But okay, now I already know that I've seen the best. That's
Mm-hmm.
what you showed me. Got it. So now let's talk about what the real you is.
Mm. Ooh. I totally appreciate you, Detrick. How can people slide in your DMs? At the time of this recording,
Right.
Detrick is unmarried.
I
Okay,
sure
at the
am.
time of this recording, so we'll put that out there. But what's your handle? What's your handle? How can they
I'm
follow you?
I'm
How can they
Detrick.
connect?
I'm Detrick DeBurr, DETRICK, DEBURR. On Instagram, and I tell people all the time, if you Google me, you probably can find me. So if
Oh,
somebody else tells me, man, I ain't heard from you, I said that means you haven't tried.
that's it.
I'm
That's it.
Googleable.
Oh, I love it. Oh, he's Googleable, y'all. And for those who are listening in, you need to find the video because Detrick is cute too. Don't mess around.
Amen. Hallelujah.
Oh, amen,
All the
amen.
credit goes to my mom and dad. I'm
Hallelujah.
just reaping the benefits.
Well, this has been another episode of the Coach Cash Show. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you got nothing, I want you to at least get the point of everyone has a past, right? Everyone has a past. And sometimes you just need to check the person that you're with for them to realize how they're bringing their past into your relationship. Instead of judging them, accept them for who they are and just have a conversation about it. Until next time, I'm so excited to see you guys or for you to listen in. See you at the hub.